What's up, everybody, and welcome to another video. Today this is going to be a little different. We're going to in fact try the OpenMW project from the openmw.org page. This is essentially open sourcing the engine for Morrowind, which, as you may or may not know, is one of my favorite games of pretty much all time. I'll have a link to that video in the description. Essentially what this is the engine for Morrowind is fairly outdated, and this project is essentially, if we go to the frequently asked questions here, it is a free, open source, and modern engine based, which re-implements and extends the one that runs the 2002 open world. So essentially, what this is taking the engine from Morrowind and open sourcing it. Doing this legally, keep in mind, because it says here, playing Morrowind with this engine still requires the Morrowind data files. So you still need to buy it from, I don't know, where can you get it now? You can get it from Steam, I know that. Steam, there's GOG, a couple other places. You might even be able to find it in a box someplace. But yeah, so this essentially, the main goal is to have this run natively on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS X. It's Mac OS now, they changed it. And it improves the interface a little bit, and there's more, in this version there's slightly better graphics. I'm not going to say it's extremely better, because, I mean, you still need mods in order to do that for now, but this is a version 1.0 goals. They're on the version 0.41. It's going to be a little while yet. And the other thing is, this essentially gives you more compatibility, somewhat, for mod. They want this to be compatible with as many mods as possible. I actually have that over here. So, as you can see, there's a lot of there's a table right here of a lot of very good mods. And you can see which ones work now, which ones have some minor issues. This one's still under testing, and this won't even work at all right now. They're working on making this one work, for example. Introduction short, I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to first start off with a couple essential programs that would really help you in doing this. So yeah, give me a minute. Alright, so for the first couple of programs that you're going to need, I have two that I really like, and I think that they'll be really beneficial whenever you're doing pretty much anything with your computer, but especially for this type of project. The first one is Clover. You can see it's kind of a file explorer replacement. So instead of going into file, I don't have it here, what am I doing? But instead of going through File Explorer, this sets itself as default. And you can see it's kind of like Google Chrome. If you notice, the tabs up here are very close to what they are up here. So, but they're very close to Google Chrome in that you can have different tabs open. And I'm not sure if File Explorer has, it's been a very long time since I've used it, so I don't know if Microsoft has done anything with it. But I mean, I don't have any bookmarks up here, but I know one of the benefits is you can actually put bookmarks of your different, like say I wanted to bookmark OpenMW.exe, it'd be right up there, so I can just go into File Explorer, sorry, or not even that, Clover, and click it, and it's right there. So that's that. And then the other thing is, if I go back into there, you're going to need to edit this file a lot, and I will get to that part later in the video, but this is the config file for OpenMW. So what I really like is a Notepad++. Let me drag that in here. It's a Notepad replacement, and it's designed to help assist in making configuration files easier to edit. It gives you individual line numbers, and it just has all sorts of useful functions, and it just looks cleaner than your standard Notepad that comes with Windows. So, for example, here I'm gonna minimize this real quick. And then I'm going to see if I can open this with the standard Notepad. I have quite a bit of other things here. Open with, yeah. It's the very first thing, duh. Notepad, yeah, okay. I didn't mean to always open, but yeah. So you see this, well here, let me drag this in, I forgot. So this looks very unclean. This is very unclean in terms of, but then you go into here and it's all nice and organized. So the Notepad++ just makes it less of a mess. So now that we got that out of the way, here I'll actually show you how to install Morrowind, Open Morrowind. Alright, so here's how you install the main Open Morrowind project. So you'll go to this page, and this will be in the description. You go to this page, and this is like the wiki. You'll have all your frequently asked questions, the forums, installation instructions, all of that, and you get some documentation. So, but to download it, you're going to go to here and go to OpenMW section and hit download. They want this to be compatible with a whole bunch of different Linux distributions. So if you're on Ubuntu, there's this, Debian, Arch, Gentoo, OpenSUSE, all of these, you have compatibility with pretty much all of them, and there's their own separate package. But as you can see, I'm on Windows 10. So if you go to OS X, Windows, Other Linux, there's a GitHub page, or I think this is a little simpler. This is just like, I guess they have some kind of FTP server set up. So downloads.openmw.org, and they even have an Android port actually. I think it's very, very bare bones from what I've understood, and they can't use the Morrowind assets that come with it because there was no Morrowind release, and for them to port that files, that'd be a break of copyright. So they have, I don't know, I haven't even tried this, but use this at your own peril. So, but what we're going to do is, there's a Linux, there's an OS X, but here's Windows. We're going to go to Windows. And you can see they have a whole bunch of releases going all the way back to November 2013. And it does have 32-bit and 64-bit versions. But I'm going to go down all the way to the newest release, to the 64-bit version, which was released back in December 2016. So this is very, very recent. And from the release pattern, I think we're about to be due for another release pretty soon. Because if you can see, there's January 2014, March 2014, May, then so you can see, and then it kind of spreads out a little bit. So there's April 2016, and there's August 2016, and then it goes all the way down to December 2016. So I think they have releases about every 3 or 4 months. And as of recording this video, the last release was December 22nd, and it is 5/7/2017 right now. So I think we're due very soon for another release, but I wanted to get this video out of the way because I haven't been on here for very long. So we're going to go to 0.41, and I think that'll download. Here we go. Okay. So that's a 30 megabyte download, 30.5. So it's very, very lightweight download. And you can see I have parentheses too because I've done this a couple of times. But we're gonna just hit that, and I'm pretty sure this does support multiple installations because I already have this on my main computer. But I'm gonna do a whole new installation just to show you the point. So that'll open. There it is. You have to accept the user access control, and then welcome to the OpenMW 0.41. You just have to accept the license agreement. And then you have to select the file, the folder you're going to have to do. Now I have 2 hard drives in this computer. Let me just launch Clover real quick. I have my SSD, which you can see it's almost full, and then I have my data drive. I have this installed in my data drive, and then my program files, the 64-bit program files, mind you, and then going down here for OpenMW 0.41. And then as you can see, here's that. This is my main installation, but I'm going to install it in a different location. In fact, I think I'll just go into this PC, I'll go into data, and then I'll just make a new folder in here. OpenMW. Why not? And then I'm just going to install it right in here. Just to see. So there's a separate installation. So I'm going to click next, and this is for start menu folder. This is up to you. I'm not going to create shortcuts here. So this will take a little bit. It won't be that long. Okay, so now we're done with the setup. That file did take a little bit, so I just cut the video real quick. So we're just going to hit finish. And then we are going to go into that folder that I just made. So it'll be data, it was OpenMW, no, YouTube, OpenMW 0.41, and as you can see, there's all of the files. So what we're going to want to do is hit the OpenMW launcher, and, oh, okay, so this is detecting my other installation. Okay, I see what this is. So this is detecting my other installation. Alright, that's fine. It shows, basically, you'll get this, and it'll essentially come up with a warning message saying, point to the directory that Morrowind is installed. So the default directory is, and this is another thing, I don't know if File Explorer does this, I think it does, but Clover does this too. You can go into, if you have a Steam installation, it'll be C, or in my case A, because that's what I name a data drive, and then Program Files x86, Steam, Steam Apps Common, and then Morrowind. And you're going to want to point it to this folder. The easiest way to do that is just copy this path, and then paste it to whatever it says in here. So this is my personal installation of Morrowind. So I'm going to go in there and I'll try and show you the differences, and I'll try and make that as vanilla as I can. So I'll exclude all the mods I have. I have quite a few different mods, so I will be back in just a minute. Okay, so as you can see, this is quite a, and it's a little laggy for some reason. It's probably due to my mods. Whenever I first had this game, it ran almost flawlessly. But as you can see, I have a texture mod that just, I don't think it either replaces or just increases the resolution of the existing textures, because you can clearly see the water. Actually, the water is a main point. If you go to the options here, there's actually more video options too. I believe the original Morrowind only had like 4 or 5 different resolutions to choose from, but by default this will give you 1080p resolution. And I don't know if it'll go higher. I don't know if it goes higher or not. I don't know if OpenMW is smart enough to actually detect how high your monitor goes, because my monitor is only 1080p. I don't know what would happen if you brought in a 4K monitor or a 1440p monitor, but I know it goes all the way up to 1080p, so that's good. And then you get VSync as an option. I don't think that was an option in the original Morrowind, not in the menus itself anyway. And you can get bilinear, anisotropy effects. You can get near distant, the view distance, and you can see all of these settings are actually, you don't have to like reload the game or anything. You can just change all of these in game, as you can see. So yeah, I think that was the water. Yeah. So, but there's more detailed water. So, and this is all by default. Keep in mind, none of my mods do this. So, so there's that. And then you've already noticed this. The third person, I think, is a little different. The third person is slightly different. Better angle. None of my mods do that either. What mods I do have are, I have very few actually. I have the, if you can see, I have the better heads mod. I have better bodies here. Let me just, so you can see the bodies are more detailed, and I only do like strips because, I mean, it gives you the general idea. With armor on, it doesn't really give you that. So let me just go ahead and put all this back on. Actually, I had that off. Okay, so yeah, and I have an animation mod. The animations are not included in OpenMW. These are different animations. I mean, what else do I have? I have the texture mod. I already told you that. The texture mod I don't even think improves the water. So the water is entirely OpenMW's doing. I think the view distances increase slightly over the default Morrowind game. So, and the crosshair I think is different. It's just there. So, So that's comparing part of the differences to the original Morrowind game. So now I'm going to tell you how to install mods, and it's actually really simple, as long as your mod is compatible to begin with. So I will do that now. So here's the mod part of the video, and the mods are actually pretty simple to install. The neat thing about OpenMW is, I don't know if it's on here. Okay, here, I'll just go to the mod installation wiki page. It'll be a little bit. As you can see, I mean, the key point, multiple data folders. So traditionally in Bethesda games, up until, well, including the more recent ones, Skyrim Special and Fallout 4, you've had, and I'll even go into Morrowind here, the vanilla Morrowind. There's been one data files folder, and just all of your mods have just been like exploded into this. So, but with OpenMW, that's not that. The OpenMW, you can actually have multiple data file paths for your installation. And by the way, I went back to my personal installation because I didn't see much of a point in having the other installation if it was just going to use the exact same settings as this. So you can have data so what you do, and I'll even give you an example here. I have the Imperial Legion badge open, and what this mod does, this is actually a really cool mod. This lets you, whenever you're in Morrowind and you join the Imperial Legion, they make you have some type of Imperial armor on at all times whenever you want to talk to, like, the general or, like, one of the person giving you orders, which is pretty much annoying because if you have better armor, you don't want to have to keep swapping it out just to talk to people. So this changes that in a more friendly way, where you'll get a little badge, and you have that in your inventory. And whenever you have it in your inventory, you can talk to the person giving you orders, and they won't complain that you won't have your clothes on. So to install the plug, yeah. So we're just gonna download this real quick, and I'll show you how pretty simple this is. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, and this is purely for organization purposes. I mean, you can have a data files folder on the desktop, but I just have the data files folder for OpenMW, and I make subfolders in here. So for this, I will make a subfolder called Imperial Legion badge. So I have that in here, and let me go into the download here. So this mod is really simple too. It just contains an ESP file, and the installation. Let me go back here. Essentially, OpenMW wants you to organize the mods like this. The ESPs in the top level of the data folder. So if your data folder was the Imperial Legion folder, the badge folder, for example, you would want the ESP right here. You wouldn't want to make another subfolder and put it in there. And then if the mod has any kind of folders such as like any of these book art fonts, and go into the main ones you have to worry about is meshes and textures, and then occasionally like sound and video. Those folders should be in the top too. Let me go into one of my other mods and give you an example. So I don't know. Better animation. No, not that one. That's a bad example. Better bodies. Okay, here. So you can see the ESP, and then the meshes and textures. All of them right here. These should be in the data folder directly that you select. So I have the Imperial Legion badge. I'm gonna go in here. You don't need the README file, but I like to copy those over anyway, just so you don't have to go digging around for the RAR file. So that'll be there. And there's one more step that you have to do. You have to go up here and do Clover and or File Explorer. I don't know if File Explorer has this or not. I think it does. But you can go into here and copy this, and then this is the path to the folder that Windows uses to see the folder. And then you're going to want to go into the OpenMW config, and you see I have all of those data files in here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make it a line under, because this by default will be the only one there. So you're going to want to make a line under the last data folder, So you're gonna want to type data equals, and then it's very important for Linux and OS X. I don't think they say it's optional, or they think it's optional, but for Windows it's required. You need the quotation marks around the folder. That's just how the code works. And then you're gonna want to hit Control V or right click and paste, whatever you do. It's different for every person, it seems. But then you close that and then you're done. That's the installation. So you're going to come over here and save that, and then we're gonna launch OpenMW with the OpenMW launcher. And then you're gonna want to go to data files, and you can see it's right. The ESP is right there. You check that, and you're done. Although I do like, I like to load the ESM files first. I think that just avoids conflictions. So I just usually just drag this down into the list somewhere. And unless the mod tells you to put it somewhere in the list specifically, then you're good. So that's it. And then I'll show you an example. I'll show you how that works. In the mod, you go to a town, and to actually get the badge, you go to a town, and there's a little like trade house or whatever, and there's a poster on that explains it. So I'm gonna go there in Morrowind. It takes a little bit to get there, so I'm not gonna record that. I'm just gonna jump right into the town. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm at that town in Morrowind that the Imperial Legion badge is located, and as you can see, if you go to the Madach trade house, the notice will be here, and attention all Imperial Legion soldiers, a new piece of equipment for the Imperial Legion has arrived, the Imperial Legion badge. And then all soldiers must get their own badge with General Darius. So, and then I'll take that. So as you can see, the mod installation worked. So to summarize, oh, hello. So to summarize, to install a mod, you simply, what was I saying? Lose train of thought. Right, so to install a mod, you download it, and then you make a new data files folder somewhere. It doesn't even have to be named data files, but you pretend it's the data files folder. You install the mod there, and then you can go in and add that folder to the OpenMW installation. So, and you don't even have to do that. You can install the mods the same way you would in a normal Morrowind installation by just having one data files folder and just shoving everything in that. But I like this setup better because it's really easy and it avoids conflictions with other mods, with textures and all that. I mean, unless it loads like the exact same there could still be some conflictions, but it's much more organized, and it's a better way to manually install the mods than with standard Morrowind. So yeah, I think that'll wrap up the video. If you like this video, leave a like and hit that subscribe button, and be sure to check out the OpenMW project. It's really good. It helped me relive Morrowind in my childhood for the first time in a long time. I really enjoy Morrowind, and this made the game so much better for me. So on that note, I will see you later.